Hey guys, my name is Francisco Hernandez, and in today's video, I want to show you 3 different AI-powered tools in Lightroom that have definitely helped me out in my own workflow when it comes to portrait photography. I know that there are different raw file processors out there, but I just like Lightroom because I'm familiar with it and it's very helpful in terms of organization. So hopefully if you guys use Lightroom yourself, you find this video helpful because these different tools have seriously helped out so much. Before I continue though, I do want to let you know that this video is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community filled with thousands of online classes and members who all want to get inspired, learn new skills, and take the next step in their creative journey. Skillshare has many classes on different categories such as photography, graphic design, off-camera flash, social media, and so much more. If you want to become a professional photographer or something else, Skillshare has the classes that can take you from beginner to pro alongside with a very supportive community. One class that I finished recently is called ChatGPT for Creatives, AI-powered SEO, marketing, and productivity by Peggy Dean. It was really helpful because I only recently started to use ChatGPT, and there are some mistakes that you can make in the beginning. And one big mistake that Peggy goes over in the class is to not give enough data for the AI tool like ChatGPT. If you only give the AI tool very little information to go by, then it's not going to be able to give you good enough results. So definitely inputting more data is going to be helpful for you when you use AI tools in general. If you're interested in Skillshare and you want to unlock your creativity and learn something new, Skillshare is going to give you a 1-month free trial when you use my link in the description area below to the first 1,000 people to use that link. I highly recommend Skillshare, and I definitely recommend you guys checking them out because when you guys support the people that support my channel, it allows me to keep making free content for you guys. So definitely check out Skillshare. Now that we're here in Lightroom, I can show you the very first AI powered tool that I really like to use all the time, which is going to be subject selection, but not just subject selection, but specific areas of that subject selection as well. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean. Whenever you enter this masking section, which is going to be this icon here, you can click on that or use the keyboard shortcut, which is Shift W. Then you enter the masking area. In this masking area, you do have the option of selecting the subject. That's going to be just the subject themselves, the sky, which is going to be, of course, the sky, self-explanatory there, or just the background, which is going to be everything but the subject. Once you enter this masking area, Lightroom will automatically analyze the scene and see how many people are in the shot. It actually did make a mistake. It thought my softbox right here was a person, but I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to go to person 2, who is Ophelia right here in the red dress. So I'm going to click on the person. And after I clicked on the person, which was Ophelia, again, person 2, you can actually see that in the top here, it's entire person. And then you have all these different subcategories beneath that. And like I said before, all these different things are going to be more specific areas of the subject. So you can choose the skin on the person's face, you can choose the skin that's on everything but the face, which is going to be the body skin right there. You can choose the eyebrows, which you can kind of see where her eyebrows are highlighted now. You can choose the eye sclera with the white part of the eye. You can choose the iris and pupil. You know what? Let me just kind of zoom in for all those different things. Again, you have eyebrows, you have eye sclera, you have iris and pupil. You have the option of choosing the lips, the teeth, just the hair, or just the subject's clothes, which I will actually zoom out so you guys can see that a little bit better. And here you can actually see that everything highlighted in red is going to be the subject's clothes. It did fail to get a little bit of the dress in terms of this area here, these 2 little ribbons. But when it comes to any AI tool out there, it will just make your job a lot easier. Sometimes it'll get it done in 1 click. Sometimes it'll get, like 90% done, and then you have to do the other 10%. One thing that I always adjust in my photos is the subject's eyes in terms of the iris and pupil. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to take off entire person off and click on iris and pupil, and then click create mask. And if I hover over this area right here, these little icons, these people icons, then you can see that clearly that the eyes are selected. And now I can make my different adjustments right here. But she does have dark eyes, and I have a preset called dark eyes. So I'm gonna click on my preset called dark eyes, and it will give a little bit bump in the exposure and shadows of her eyes and a little bit of saturation. All different adjustments are right here, but I do feel like the eyes are a tad bit bright, so I will just lower the blacks a little bit from -5 to maybe -11, and I do feel like they're fine now at this level, so now I can continue. But up until this point, I've still gone over just the one AI powered tool, which is this subject selection and the subject selection subcategories. But now I want to go to object selection. When it comes to object selection, I wanted to show this image on the screen here from a recent photo shoot that I did with Anna here on the screen, because I actually did use this tool, this object selection tool in Lightroom when it came to the hat specifically. In some photos, I did feel like the hat was a little too dark, so I raised the exposure of just the hat by itself, and I did that with the object selection tool. Now that I'm zoomed in a little bit, I'm going to show you guys over here the plus I'm going to click on objects. And what this does is give you a brush that you can paint over the thing that you want to select. So in this case, that's going to be the hat. And even though I am going to brush very loosely, it will select just the hat after I'm done. So let me just go ahead and just show you guys that. So I'm going to paint over just the hat and not be kind of very precise with it, but a little bit precise. So I want to get right here, a little bit of the top. And my mouse is a little messed up, so it did release a little earlier than expected, but it still selected a good amount of the hat. So that's pretty cool. So now I can just start to make adjustments to just the hat. Like I said before, in some images, when I worked on the images from this photo shoot, I felt like the hat was a little too dark. So let's say, for example, I wanted to raise the exposure. What I gotta do now is just literally raise the exposure of just the hat. And right now it's now 0.58 brighter in terms of exposure. So let me show you guys the before and after. So this is the before and this is the after. But of course, if I wanted to make other adjustments to the hat, then I can do that with all these different areas of, you know, manipulation right here. The third AI tool that I want to show you is actually very powerful, and I think it's something that you guys will really enjoy, which is the noise reduction called denoise. In this image that I took recently at Shutterfest in April, I did raise the ISO to 1600, and that didn't give me so much grain, but I did underexpose the image a little bit because my LCD was a little bit brighter than normal, so it gave me a false positive reading of a brighter exposure. So it resulted in something like this right here. So I did end up increasing the photo to almost 2 stops brighter, which would have been around 6400 almost, maybe 6000, 5000, something like that. And even though you can't really see it at this kind of magnification, I will show you guys that there is a bit of noise in this image by zooming in. So now that you guys can see a zoomed up version of this, you can see that there's a lot of noise in this image because I was at a high ISO and it did bring up the exposure quite a bit. Well, with the AI powered tool called denoise, I don't really have to worry about this noise because let me show you guys right now with the denoise tool. All you gotta do is go to the detail section and click on denoise, and essentially what it's going to do is it's going to give you a very close look of the photo so you can see all the different noise, and then you can choose a certain amount of level of noise reduction, and it will give you a preview of how much noise it's going to be removing with this little preview right here. I have tried the default, which I think is 50, and I think it was a little too smooth for my liking, so I did reduce it to half of that to 25, and I found the results to be much better. So let me show you guys that. And before you click on enhance, which is going to start that denoise process, it actually will tell you an estimated time that you're going to have to wait, so you can go to the bathroom or do something else in the time that it gives you. The more denoise that you're going to apply to this image, the longer the wait is going to be. But in this case, for this photo, I actually already applied the denoise, so I'm going to just cancel and then show you guys the denoise. So this is going to be the before with all the noise on the image right here, you can see. And then now it's going to be the after with all the noise reduced. And if you guys didn't catch that, if it was too quick, then you can see on the screen right now, both of the different kind of versions, the one with the noise and the one with the noise reduced, so you guys can see exactly what it did. And like I said before, if you do feel like the image on the right is a little too smooth, if the noise is reduced too much, then you can just reduce the amount of noise reduction in the denoise process by just lowering that amount from 50 to 25 to something lower if you feel like it needs to be reduced. And that's pretty much it for this video. Those are the 3 different tools that I felt really help out my own personal workflow. I no longer have to worry about raising the noise a little bit or raising the ISO a little bit, and I can be very selective in what I want to select and adjust in Lightroom with those different masking things in the subject selection, the subcategories for subject selection, and the object selection. Thank you guys for watching, and definitely thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. But for now, I'll just say take care, guys. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if you did, give the video a like. But for now, take care, and I'll see you in the very next video.